Tonight on Eagle Angle, homecoming is in full swing at Oklahoma Christian.
Opening night is just around the corner for this year's homecoming play.
And the Oklahoma Christian Eagles get ready for Saturday's big game.
All this and more coming right up on Eagle Angle.
Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle, a student-produced newscast live from Oklahoma Christian University. I'm Joe Luckett.
I'm Hannah Stover.
This past Monday, Oklahoma Christian kicked off its homecoming week with Trick the Trail. Clubs set up around the soccer field to hand out candy to the kids around the Oklahoma Christian campus in a trunk or treat. Some clubs even showed off their costumes. What a way to spend Halloween.
The Christmas spirit has begun early on the Oklahoma Christian campus, as the 15th annual Lighting of the Commons took place last night, starting off the homecoming week with a bit of Christmas spirit. There was music, hot chocolate, a Christmas market, and pictures with Santa Claus. Enthusiastic shoppers in the Christmas market helped fund soundings as all the proceeds went to the Literary Visual Arts Journal. Visitors got to enjoy free train and carriage rides as well. The horse carriage rides were especially a highlight for children and alumni families. The most anticipated event, however, was the Lighting of the Commons. Following OC's memorable tradition, students and alumni counted down with President John DeSteiger to watch the entire campus light up glowing Christmas lights. This year's Lighting of the Commons has left everyone with a feeling of awe, memories, and enthusiasm for the week to come.
Homecoming is a busy time for many of the social clubs on the Oklahoma Christian campus. This past weekend, each club spent a full 48 hours decorating a part of campus to show off their legacy during homecoming week. Eagle Angle caught up with each of the clubs as they prepared during the pre-homecoming weekend.
So this year, instead of building floats or structures, clubs are going to be decorating areas around campus.
The biggest thing is the structure. It's not like an actual building per se. It's more of like highlighting areas on campus.
I think all the clubs are going to do a great job at the 48-hour build, at the competitions. And this year we've tried to make it easier on clubs. So homecoming is intended to be a little bit more relaxed this year.
Well, you see, our move here is start to the game, throw everybody off, come in strong tomorrow. I'm excited for them to see the scale of what we've got this year. I think it's going to turn out well.
Oh, I left my questions back at the room.
Darn.
Man. Well, yeah, it's an interview, isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know why the camera's facing us.
So we're doing freshman 50s because it's like legacy and freshmen have just always been around. We're not really we're just our own clubs.
Gamma has a huge legacy of like trying our hardest at everything, and even if that isn't like winning, it's just being the best that we could do, and we're really good at like pushing ourselves. So I think just it's a big structure, like it's really large, and we're incorporating like 6 different aspects of Gamma into it. So I think that'll set us apart, that we didn't pick one thing, we picked all of the things.
We're gonna kind of try and give people a magical kind of like calm experience whenever they go to our space, because we don't want to be overwhelming.
We are incorporating pumping in our design this year.
We don't have pumping. Ha! We are consistently not using pumping. I really hope that we don't have to touch pumping for many years. We're kind of sticking with our typical theme of knights and castles and such.
Yeah.
We are also kind of akin to a museum. We're going to display some of the relics that we have.
It's been very lively. I think some of our guys are just really happy that they get to contribute to something like this.
It's really encouraging to see a lot of guys come out. I think with having only the 48 hours to do all this, our guys are a little bit more excited. It's a chance for all of us to come together to get one project done.
Our focus is we want to have like everyone in our club like have a say. So like we came up with like general ideas, but we wanted people, like, once we actually got here to, like, have a say. This whole year is about representing our club and, like, who we are, and, like, there's no better way to do that than let the girls in your club, like, take hold of that and really get to show who they are off in their designs and what we're doing in our hallway.
So we're going for something called The History of the World According to Psy. And it's really just supposed to be funny. It's just hilarious Photoshop pictures of our current members and some past members from last year. And it's just going through our own history of the world.
I think Theta being the oldest club on campus, we have a lot to show off. I'm really focusing on, like, instead of trying to make a lot of new things, use the things that have been passed down from, like, I don't know, the 80s, literally 70s, 60s, and, like, show those off. We're gonna have a wall that has, like, a lot of pictures from, like, different periods since the start of Theta.
The most unique part of our build is definitely that we're enclosing a whole space to make it look like a castle.
One thing that, like, we really wanted to represent was we want to really show everyday campus students, like, what we are, what we're about, and
It'll be a lot of fun.
Go to everything.
Yes, go to everything. And have fun with it.
Be open to the changes.
Yeah.
Be open to the new stuff. Because that's how traditions start. Is someone had an idea and said, let's go with it.
This Saturday at 11:15 a.m., the Oklahoma Christian Social Clubs will be participating in the Homecoming Walking Parade. It will begin on the Band Loop close to the Bible Building, and students, staff, and alumni are welcome to come out and see all the clubs at OC.
The Homecoming Pep Rally will kick off the 4th of November. Following dress code, freshmen will wear maroon, sophomores will wear white, juniors will wear gray, and seniors will wear black. Students will get to meet the athletic teams and get a chance to win many incredible prizes. Make sure to attend the pep rally at the gym with your friends and win prizes.
Saturday, November 5th, in between the men and women's basketball games, this year's homecoming class representatives and club representatives will be recognized along with the crowning of the homecoming king and queen. This year's homecoming club representatives are Andrew Clubb representing Alpha Gamma Omega, Carter Neal representing Chi Lambda Phi, Jack Taubell representing Delta Gamma Sigma, Stephanie Heredia representing Gamma Rho, Tess Sawyer representing Iota Kappa Phi, Grant Dunham representing Kappa Sigma Tau, Aaron Monroe representing Lambda Chi Zeta, Quinlan Heitman will represent Psi Epsilon, and Per Stokes representing Theta Theta Theta. This year's homecoming class representatives are Shaylee McCandles and John Meadows representing the freshman class, Heather Sparks and Buddy Lambert representing the sophomore class, and Peyton Balbin and Josh Knox representing the junior class. The homecoming queen nominees are Taylor Barnett, Peyton Meredith, and Gemma Arbuckle, and the homecoming king nominees are Austin McNair, Lucas Martinez, and Levi Wyndham. An Oklahoma City resident has won a $2 million lottery ticket. Even though no one has been able to claim the massive Powerball jackpot until now, one Oklahoma City man has struck it rich. Officials with the Oklahoma Lottery said that a $2 million winning Powerball ticket was sold at a Homeland store located in Oklahoma City. The lucky winner is a man named Ronald, who said that he bought lottery tickets every once in a while but never expected to win.
An additional 17 unmarked graves have been found in Tulsa. Part of the city's effort was to find unidentified victims of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. The Oklahoma State archaeologist says that they were uncovered at an excavation site in the Oaklawn Cemetery. The city has been conducting a years-long investigation into the events of the massacre, which is inflicted by a white mob and targeted black residents. The attack destroyed Tulsa's Greenwood district, a thriving black economic hub. As many as 300 people were killed according to the Tulsa Historical Society and Museum, but only 26 death certificates were issued for the victims. An excavation at the cemetery last year led to the remains of 19 victims. The second excavation began last week, uncovering the 17 additional graves. Officials are now working to identify the victims through forensic genealogical testing.
This year's homecoming musical involves singing, dancing, and kilts. Eagle Angle was able to get a sneak peek at this charming Scottish tale.
So this year the musical for Homecoming is Brigadoon. We started all the way back in September with auditions, and the students went through a week of musical rehearsals where they sit down, learn all the music, memorize the music.
Two men go hunting in Scotland. One of them is engaged, but he's having second thoughts, so he decides to go to Scotland. They happen upon a town that isn't on the map.
This town is asleep for what they think is one day. It's actually been 100 years later.
It was written sometime in the mid to late 40s. The music reflects that. It's very stereotypical music theater. A lot of the vocals actually are going to sound a bit different because of everybody doing a Scottish accent. I play Tommy Albright. He is in his early 30s and he is engaged to a woman that he does not want to be engaged to. He's a character that is very afraid of facing the real problems he has. He doesn't want to get married, so instead of just telling the woman he's engaged to that he doesn't want to get married, he goes off to a completely different continent.
I play Fiona McLaren. She's definitely somebody that I relate to, but also somebody that challenges me personally.
Totally different from last year's. I mean, Willy Wonka is most unusual. This show is more old-fashioned musical.
With Willy Wonka, and even the year before that with Little Mermaid, those are very popular pop culture style shows where we're familiar with the storyline, we're familiar with the music, with the dancing. And with Brigadoon, we kind of lost that layer of reliability on what we already know.
This show is a little bit different. The characters you really have to interpret in a specific way, and I think that's something that really differentiates the musicals that we've done in the past to this one.
This cast, which is comprised of a mixture of music majors all the way to people who've never even done any sort of vocal music before, every single person has been up to the task. Everybody has been ready with their music, and everybody has been willing to learn it, and they've learned it fast.
The kids have been amazing with the accents. I didn't have to help them at all. It's written in the script for them, but they've picked up on it far better than I would.
They've worked really, really hard, especially these last couple weeks as we've gotten away from our scripts and we're getting more comfortable. We've gotten better and better every single night. I think they're just really ready for an audience.
I'm really excited for the Homecoming audience to get to see all of these freshmen and sophomores who have never done a show like this or have never done a show at OC in these leading roles doing a phenomenal job. I'm excited for people to get to see that.
I am really excited to see the students' passion and their talent that's going to come through during the performance.
I think it's super fun. It's something I never expected. I'm hoping that the audience doesn't expect what they're in for.
Come see the show. It's going to be great.
To pick up your tickets for Brigadoon, visit oc.edu/events.
This coming Saturday, Oklahoma Christian will be celebrating the OC alumni with a number of events this year. Starting Saturday morning, the alumni will have a chance to reunite with their social clubs as the club breakfast at 8 a.m.
And then, at 10 a.m., Oklahoma Christian will have its annual Homecoming Chapel. This special chapel will honor alumni and recreate the chapel experience from their times at OC. All alumni, staff, faculty, and students are invited to come to recognize the alumni on Saturday in Baugh Auditorium, located in the Garvey Center.
If you have any stories you would like us to report on, please send an email to our producer with the address on the screen.
We are going to take a quick break.
When we come back, Tyler Hill will have your Eagle Angle weather report.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your dog walker,
On your left!
your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Good day, Oklahoma. I'm Tyler Hill here with your Eagle Angle Weather Report. So today's weather, as you can see, it is 61 degrees outside. Feels like 59 for a great, cool autumn day. And let's take a look around the area of Oklahoma. Majority of Oklahoma is going to be in the mid to high 60s with a few popping up here and there, specifically Guymon being 78 and Durrani being 74, as well as Altus matching that 74 as well. And now for tonight's temperatures, we're going to go drop down, not very much, but be 60 degrees with a mild 16 miles per hour wind and a 70% humidity. And this is what the weekend will look like. Unfortunately, Friday is going to have a major thunderstorm here, although Saturday and Sunday can clear that up quite well. And finally, our 5-day forecast. Majority of your week is going to be in the mid-70s, while Saturday is going to be that outlier there with 64 high in that thunderstorm-like weather. But the rest of your week is going to be either sunny or partly sunny, save for Friday with it being that cloudy, and a lows mostly being in the kind of a little bit scattered around the place, being 67, 40, 50, 55, 63. And that's all for Eagle Angle Weather Report. When we come back, we'll have Kanasha Sanup in the Entertainment Corner to bring you the latest.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, Come on, man, let's split a ride home.
I'm Kanisha Sanab, and welcome to the Entertainment Corner. A history-making moment on Broadway. The late actress Lena Horne now has a theater named after her. The Brooks Atkinson Theater was renamed in her honor on Tuesday. She is the first black woman to ever have her name etched on a theater on Broadway. Horne was a star on stage and screen for decades. She also was a civil rights activist. Horne died in 2010 at the age of 92. The granddaughter, screenwriter Jenny Lumet, told the crowd that gathered outside the theater to follow her grandmother's message in life. Be inspired and make more art and believe. Actress Lupita Nyong'o is returning to the horror genre. Director Michael Sarnowski confirmed on Twitter Tuesday that she is set to star in A Quiet Place Day One. Not much is known about the plot, but the film is a spin-off to the A Quiet Place franchise. Stars of the primary movies, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, are reportedly not expected to appear in it. The news comes as Nyong'o's most recent project, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, is slated to hit theaters next week. This isn't the first time she has jumped from action to horror. Nyong'o's performance in Jordan Peele's film Us gained critical acclaim in 2019. The year after, she also starred in the first Black Panther film. This time, fans will have to wait a little bit longer. A Quiet Place Day One isn't expected in theaters until March of 2024. Christina Applegate says finishing the last season of Netflix's show Dead to Me was the hardest thing she's ever done. The 50-year-old actress opened up about her multiple sclerosis diagnosis in a New York Times article that was published Tuesday. She says filming shut down temporarily in the summer of 2021 when doctors told her she had an autoimmune disease. Citing an obligation to the show's producers and her co-stars, she insisted on finishing the third and final season despite offers to wrap up what had already been shot. Now she's getting ready to publicize the show ahead of its November 17th premiere. Applegate says she is now 40 pounds heavier and has to walk with a cane, and if people can't get past it, that's their business. That's all for today's Entertainment Corner. Here's Gabe Baden, who has your Eagle Angle Sports Report.
Thanks, Kanisha. This past weekend, the Oklahoma Christians women's volleyball team's final week at home before the end of their season. They kicked off the weekend with a dominant game against Texas Permian Basin. The Lady Eagles lost the first game in the match, but came back strong in the second, third, and fourth games of the match. On Saturday, the Lady Eagles made a thrilling comeback against Angelo State. Angelo State beat Oklahoma Christian in the first two games of the match. Then in the third and fourth games, the Lady Eagles both won with a score of 25. In the fifth and final game of the weekend, the Oklahoma Christian women won the match against Angelo State with a 2-point lead of 20-18. Last night was an exciting night for the Oklahoma Christians men's soccer team. After punching their ticket to the Lone Star Conference Championships this past Saturday night with a win over Eastern New Mexico, the Eagles went on to play number 3 Lubbock Christian Tuesday night in a back-and-forth bout. The Eagles scored the first point of the night in the first half of the game, but Lubbock tied the matchup in the second half. Oklahoma Christian and Lubbock Christian ended up going into overtime, where neither team scored. It wasn't until the match's second overtime period that Oklahoma Christian scored the winning point. Oklahoma Christian will be taking on the number 1 seeded St. Mary's University this Friday at 7:30 p.m. The broadcast will be available on the Lone Star Conference digital network. The Oklahoma Christian's cross-country team will be headed to the Wichita Falls, Texas this weekend for the Lone Star Conference Championship on Saturday, November 5th. The men will start the race at 9:30 a.m. and the women will take off at 10:30 a.m. Good luck, Eagles. This Saturday, November 5th, the Oklahoma Christians women's basketball team will be playing their homecoming game against the York University Panthers at 1 p.m. at the Payne Athletic Center. This will be the second year that the Lady Eagles play the York Panthers during homecoming. Last year, the Lady Eagles beat the Panthers 87-63. It's homecoming, and that means it's time to fill up the stands at the men's homecoming basketball game. Eagle Angle had a chance to talk to the team before Saturday's big game.
lot of time to practice, and the last couple weeks has been helpful for us. I think we're making strides in the right direction. It helps to have a lot of returners who know what we're doing, know what we're about, and understand the bigger picture.
We've been working hard. Got a lot of returners, so they're familiar with the way that I like to play. They're familiar with the league. We've added some good guys, so I'm looking forward to the group that we have and what they can do in this league.
We got a bunch of new guys this year and a bunch of former guys coming back, so we have a lot of talent coming in and a lot of forward players that are still coming back.
I'm really just excited to play these new group of guys. It's been a different intensity in practice every day compared to last year, so I'm really just excited for all of us to just get on the court together in a real game situation.
We want to improve on our record this year and just the way that we played last year. It was a lot of guys' first time playing for me, a lot of the guys' first time playing at this level.
We're hungry and we're coming. We're on the rise. And I feel like our game, once we start playing, people will be able to notice and they'll see that this is a different Oklahoma Christian basketball squad than last year.
One thing that I've been putting a lot of emphasis on is protecting our home floor. I don't think I did a great job of that last year. I mean, we're looking to start off on the right foot.
Everybody, like as far as like me and including the returners, we kind of just like excited and really just anxious for the season to start. We kind of underperformed last year.
Some of the challenges that we have are just trying to integrate some of the new pieces that we have. We've got several new guys on our team, and a lot of them are going to be key pieces to what we're trying to do.
I'm just looking for us to get started and start with a bang. Like, we can get going. We're a good team, and we have the chance to go far.
Our hope is that we can use this first game on Saturday, homecoming, to give everybody a taste of what they can look forward to throughout the season.
We really want to create a home court advantage. So our students and our support system are super important. Try to make that happen.
It's the start of our season, and so it's a really good opportunity for us to go put on a show for our students and our student body and our fans and our alumni to really kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. So
just both teams, men's and women's basketball teams, will truly appreciate all of the support.
As the break's coming up, we're going to have a lot of home games where you guys will be away, going back home for the break, so it'd be huge if you guys come out and support for us on Saturday. Go Talons.
The Oklahoma Christian men will play against the Sterling College Warriors this Saturday, November 5th, in the Payne Athletic Center at 3 p.m. after homecoming coronation. You can watch both the men and women's basketball game, as well as the homecoming coronation, right here on Cox 3 or on Eagle Media's Facebook page and YouTube channel at 1 p.m. That is all for Eagle Angle Sports Report. After the break, Hannah will be back for our Feel Good Story of the Week.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
You care for the house, the kids, and our future. My Shiro's Day is never done. So let's save a little more now so we can create the retirement we want. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need. Visit asiaretirement.org/Shiro.
What are you looking for?
In the midst of a heightened tension between China and Taiwan, a moment of diplomacy, a moment of love. Love of the giant panda named Tauntaun. The beloved bear lives in Taiwan at the Taipei Zoo. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor in September, and it's been progressing rapidly ever since. 2 panda experts from China visited the zoo to look at the panda, eventually coming to the same conclusion as the zoo's experts, not to treat the 18-year-old panda, but to keep him comfortable until he passes. It's hard to say how long that will be. Even with his intimate loss, the joint effort to care for Tauntaun is being called a rare diplomatic win for the two sides.
That's all for today. We'll see you back here next week to bring you the latest.
Thanks for tuning in to Eagle Angle, where it's your campus,
your news.
Talons up.